Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday afternoon. We are on your lunch break. Of course, this is Animated Showdown episode 37. I am your host, Dutchy, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
All right, and the wild card, Dave.
Hello.
Sean is not here right now. This is being recorded on a Saturday night. The weather is nasty out in Western New York, and Mother Nature decided to sodomize me by taking out one of my co-hosts by having him lose power. Because she is the no good B word that I have called her for many years. So anyway, so Sean is not here, but I have his answers written down. Tonight's matches are Angelique taking on Hell's Paradise. We're also going to have ISHURA taking on Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy. Kaiju number 8 takes on SEIKEREI. C.O.P.S is going to take on BRAVESTARR. And the main event is going to be Codename Kids Next Door versus Pinky in the Brain. Now, we did stuff a little different here because we lost Sean and we can only really communicate with him through Facebook Messenger. We already ran a randomizer. The 5 categories we are dealing with are originality. It was supposed to be voice acting, but Eric used his power. And it was seconded, so it's overall enjoyment. So the powers will reset. But originality, overall enjoyment, animation, theme song, and fan base are the categories we are dealing with. So we had to do things a little different so we can kind of accommodate Sean here so he could tell us exactly what his choices are. But what we're going to do is I will read off Sean's answers, but I'll also kind of give a background as to why I chose what I chose. Why I think a certain show should win, because I did score a couple of these because originally I thought I was going to be a judge this week, but then Eric decided to turn family dinner into family breakfast and be on the show.
I was fixing my charger.
Okay.
I
wasn't insulting you about standing up. I was insulting you about the fact that you told me just 3 hours ago that you were going to do the show.
Oh.
Yeah. So, different reason. All right. So, if you've never seen the show before, 5 categories. We're going to, the guys are going to judge. Show wins 3-0, 30 points. 3-1 is 20 points. 3-2 is 10, and 5 for the loser. If a show is swept, then they will lose 10 points. We just have one more week left after this week of stage 2 or stage 3 of the Animated Anarchy series. Sit your ass down, because we are getting started. So all right, without any further ado, we're going to start with Angelique versus Hell's Paradise. Technically it's called Angelique Abyss, and they are in division of Joshua Kogovan. 0-2, negative 20 points. If they're swept here, they move to negative 30, and they'll be one of the worst shows in the series. They're going to take on Hell's Paradise, 1-1, 15 points in the division of Sean Stranahan. Neither show was really playing for a division lead here. And we start with originality. Dave, who takes originality here?
I think I'm going to give this one to Hell's Paradise. I just think it has, a different blend between a dark fantasy and philosophical elements. I think the world is a little more distinct. It's grotesque, different creature designs. It's very unique, haunting visuals. So I just think it's a little different. Neo, I just feel like it follows a lot of common themes for, anime. So I'm going the other way here.
Okay. All right, Eric?
I'm going Hell's Paradise too. From what I read and researched, it led me to Hell's Paradise.
All right. Sean also voted for Hell's Paradise. If it were me voting, see, I went the other way. I went with Neo Angelique. So, like, if I were voting, that's where I would have gone. And I think for me, like Neo Angelique, I couldn't, because on Crunchyroll, it's only available like in Japanese.
Right.
So, like, I did not really understand what was going on. In Hell's Paradise, I had a pretty good idea, and I like Hell's Paradise actually better. But all right, so Hell's Paradise takes first category. They're up 1-0. 2 more, and then they're gonna sweep it. We move on to overall enjoyment. Eric, which show did you enjoy more?
I actually went with is it Neo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought I just liked the story there, and I just liked it better.
All right, Neo Angelique is who Eric picks. Dave, go ahead.
I'm going Hell's Paradise here. I just think it's more enjoyable for modern audiences. I think it has really good high quality, and I like the action. I really enjoy the action. I think it's pretty striking visuals for the action, and it's intense, and I just like that a little bit more. It's more
Right.
fast paced.
All right, so Sean also picked Hell's Paradise. That's who he has winning that one. So Hell's Paradise is going to win the category. And the funny thing, I would have picked Hell's Paradise myself because I really did enjoy that show.
I did enjoy both.
Yeah. So, and also Neo Angelique, like I said, it was harder for me to understand. But that's what happens when you don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
And I can't follow subtitles. Like I thought about turning them on, but I really can't follow them.
I got used to watching the subtitles as a kid because I had like Naruto on disc, but it was all Japanese, so I had to watch it with subtitles.
Right.
I'm kind of used to it too. My dad likes subtitles, and my brother likes subtitles.
So all right. Animation is the next category. Hell's Paradise is up. Is up 2-0. They can sweep it in this next category. And it is animation style. Dave?
Yeah, I think they do sweep it here. I think Hell's Paradise features more modern, high intensity action sequences. For sure. I think they have more detailed characters. I think they're a little more creative with their character designs as well. And I just feel like it had really good consistency. They had a little bit of inconsistency in some spots, but it's just high quality animation and very high octane, movement and battles sequences. So I just think they take this one.
All right. Eric?
Yeah, I went Hell's Paradise. It's more cleaner and more detailed.
All right. Sean also went Hell's Paradise. So, all right. Hell's Paradise is going to get the 3-0 win.
Is that where you were going to?
I went back and forth on it. So yes, I did go that, but like I did kind of like Neo Angelique's animation.
Yeah.
But Hell's Paradise does kind of edge it out for me. Hell's Paradise it's another anime. You can add it to the list of animes that I actually did enjoy watching.
I thought both shows were pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked Neo Angelique a bit better if I could understand it. But all right. So 30 points for Hell's Paradise. 10 points gets taken away from Neo Angelique. So Neo Angelique is now at -30, and it joins that bottom of the barrel club with World of David the Gnome, the Dino Saucers, and Ace Ventura Pet Detective, the animated series. So, all right. Next battle is ISHURA taking on Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy. ISHURA is in the division of Sarah Russo. They are 1-1 with 0 points. And Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy in the division of Kenneth Williams III. They are 0-2 at negative 10 points. So no division leads are really on the line here. Money, we're going to start with you. Originality, who do you give it to?
I went with what is it called? Bastard Heavy Metal.
Okay.
I just think from what I read, it just led me. The research I did led me to Heavy Metal.
All right. Dave, originality here.
Yeah, I think I agree with Eric here. I think, it draws heavily from Dungeons and Dragons, dark fantasy, but the heavy metal bands and stuff like that they bring into it. I do think it's a little more unique in that premise. I sure it's kind of like a bunch of strong beings fighting to see who's the true hero or whatever type deal, and we've seen a couple shows kind of like that.
Yeah. All right. And just so you guys know, Sean did vote for ISHURA, but Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is going to win this here. This first category, 1-0. We move on now to overall enjoyment. Dave, what show did you enjoy more?
I'm going with ISHURA here. I enjoyed that a little bit better. It's a nice battle royal with good world building, unique powers. It's got a pretty good cast. I do think if you like strategic fights and complex characters with some mindless action, I think it's a good show.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
I went with Heavy Metal here. I just preferred that type of show.
All right. Sean did go with ISHURA, so ISHURA is going to win that category. It's tied 1-1. No sweep is happening. But we move on now to the next category, which is animation style. Dave, go ahead.
For animation style, I think this one is a little tough for me. This one is tough for me. It's kind of my toss-up one. But I think I'm going to go with Bastard Heavy Metal. I think it was just a little more consistent. I think they put a lot of high effort in their animation and their fight scenes. I thought they were very detailed fight scenes, even though they were very chaotic battle sequences. They were very, very good with their visuals. So I think I'm going to go with them.
All right. I'm going to go. Well, Sean's technically going next because this is his answer. He went with ISHURA. So, Eric, that means you get to break the tie.
I'm going with Heavy Metal. I just thought it was more detailed, and I just like the detail of the fight scenes.
All right. They're up 2-1. One more, and they're going to get the 20-point win here. And it is theme song. So, Eric, go ahead. Who had a better theme song?
I went with, I stuck with Heavy Metal. I just preferred the theme better. So it was close, but I preferred that better.
All right, Dave.
I went the opposite way. I wasn't like, I just felt like Bastard had like a very loud, aggressive, hardcore heavy metal intro, where ISHURA is more like, it was fast paced, but it was more melodic, like a pop rock techno type deal.
Yeah. All right. Sean also went with ISHURA.
Okay.
So, all right. So we're tied 2-2. We go to the fifth category, which is fan base. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with Bastard Heavy Metal. Um, I just feel like, it has that 80s, 90s fantasy, nostalgia, like Dungeons and Dragons type deal. The music, I feel like it also brings a vibe, to a certain like a certain group or demographic. I just feel like it was a little more larger and mainstream as well. So I think it just had a little bit more of that fan base.
All right. I'm gonna. Well, Sean's technically going next. He did go with Ashura. So Eric, break the tie. Who wins this thing?
I stuck with heavy metal because I think they just have a bigger fan base because it's more heavy metal, and I think that draws more of attention.
All right. So Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is going to win this 3-2. They're going to get 10 points, so they're going to get themselves out of the negative. And Ishura is going to get 5 points out of this. So they are going to move now to 5 points. So at least now Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is out of the negative. We move now to the next battle, the next anime battle here. The final one for the afternoon, because the next one are cartoon battles. But we have Kaiju number 8 taking on SEIKEREI. Kaiju number 8 is 2-0, 40 points in the division of Matthew Gore. They cannot catch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for a division lead, but they can move pretty close. And SEIKEREI, 1-1, 20 points in the division of Matt P. They cannot move into the division league because they are just so far behind Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. However, they can try to make it somewhat competitive. So, all right. Originality is up first. Dave, start us off, please.
I'm gonna go SEIKEREI here. I just feel like it's got a little bit of a different concept. Like, there's these women with powers, but like they battle for like somebody, kind of like a Pokemon. So it's kind of like, imagine like, people with powers, but they're like, they battle for somebody. I just feel like Kaiju number 8, we see a lot of those like Kaiju type monsters quite a bit, and it's that typical, chasing your dream trope. So I just feel like, we've seen monsters and stuff like that, and dream chasing and stuff like that. I think SEIKEREI kind of goes towards a different direction on that.
Okay.
So that's why I picked them.
All right. Eric?
Yeah, I went with SEIKEREI too. I just think they're just more original there.
All right. Sean also went with SEIKEREI, so they are going to be up 1-0. 2 more, and then they can sweep it. Overall enjoyment is next. Eric, go ahead.
I enjoy Kaiju number 8 more. I just like the story arc of that show and the characters.
All right. So Eric goes Kaiju number 8. Dave?
I'm going the other way. I'm going SEIKEREI. I enjoyed that more. I like the battle sequences. I think it has some funny moments. And I just like the plot, the story that they got going into it.
All right. Sean broke the tie here. He also went with SEIKEREI. So SEIKEREI is up 2-0. 1 more, and then they can sweep it. And it's animation style. Dave?
Kaiju number 8 takes this. It's got high-end, modern 2D animation, good action sequences. They're very detailed. SEIKEREI, it's a little more inconsistent. It's simpler character designs. So I just feel like Kaiju takes this one.
All right. I'm gonna. Well, Sean's technically going next. He went SEIKEREI. Eric, you break the tie here.
I went with KAIJU number 8. I think that's more detailed and more just like the animation there.
All right. So it is 2-1 in favor of SEIKEREI. No sweep is happening here, but we move on to theme song. Eric, who had the better theme song?
I like the opening of KAIJU number 8, so I went with KAIJU number 8. Am I even saying that right?
Dave?
For you said KAIJU number 8?
Yeah, he's asking if he's pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, it's called KAIJU.
Okay.
Oh, KAIJU. Okay.
All right. Dave, go ahead and give me your answer.
I think I'm gonna go the opposite way here. I kind of like the classical type upbeat kind of pop opening for SEIKEREI. I think it's got like a nice high energy but melodic type vibe. I think it's a little catchy, and I just think it goes well with the type of show it is.
All right. So now Sean picked. So the battle is ending here because Sean actually picked SEIKEREI.
Ooh.
So SEIKEREI is going to win 3-1. They're going to get 20 points out of the deal. And no points for KAIJU number 8. But we are going to move on to the next battle, which is C.O.P.S versus BRAVESTARR. C.O.P.S is in the division of Mark McGee, 1-1, 20 points. They cannot catch a division lead here yet, but they are 1-1, 20 points. And BRAVESTARR is 0-2, negative 10 points in the division of Sean Stranahan. Obviously, no division lead can be caught there either. Now, this is one of the ones that I actually scored. So, like, I'm also going to be kind of giving, I mean, it's going to be Sean's answers, but I'm going to be giving my opinion as well because I actually know both of these shows pretty well. So, we start with originality. Dave, go ahead.
Who I think I'm gonna go with BRAVESTARR here. I just think C.O.P.S is the typical good guy versus bad guy concept. So I went the other way here. I just think, the space western magical fantasy type deal set on the planet New Texas. It's it's like a sci-fi technology with like Native American type deal.
It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi in the Wild West.
Yeah,
it's really what it is.
Yeah, it's sci-fi in the Wild West. I think it's a little more, unique concept than, good guys versus bad guys.
Right. Eric?
Yeah, I went with BRAVESTARR too. I just think we've seen shows like C.O.P.S too. So.
All right. So Sean actually went with C.O.P.S. Now, if it were me judging, and I kind of know, like, because Sean really did not like BRAVESTARR at all, because he's got an issue with all shows that were done with Filmation. Like he absolutely we know we've done how many shows with him, and like he does not like Filmation animation. But I would have gone with BRAVESTARR because if you think about it, C.O.P.S is basically just Police Academy, but more serious.
Right.
If you think about it that way. And I like both shows, so obviously I do kind of think about it that way. And by the way, both shows came out, and both Police Academy and C.O.P.S came out in 1988, so there's that too. One came out that both came out kind of at the same time. So BRAVESTARR has the 1-0 lead here. 2 more, and then they're going to sweep it. Overall enjoyment. Eric?
I went with Cops here because I like cop shows, so and I just like it. Bravestar with a show. It's not my genre.
Gotcha. All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going Cops here. I like the good guy versus bad guy thing. I like Cops. I think they have better toy line as well.
Oh, do they? By the way, one of the more Bravestar can be expensive too, but I used to have the Cops and Crooks figures when I was a kid.
Yeah, I just think it was simple and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean also went with Cops. I technically also went with Cops as well. I nothing against Bravestar. It's not that I don't hate Bravestar. Let me just say that. But like I just think Cops was just a better done. Well, I just enjoyed it more, obviously, because that's what the category is. But to get into like the toy line a little bit, I actually used to have a couple of the Cops figures when I was a kid. I mean, obviously I don't have them anymore because I don't think I've seen those figures in like 20 years, but maybe even 30.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you sell some of them?
No,
you just said no.
Well, no, because I had them when I was little. Like the big fat guy.
I don't.
The big fat guy, Big Boss. I remember having that figure. I used to use him to wrestle around with my wrestling figures all the time. I never had him go over though because he was the bad guy. But all right,
I wasn't sure. I thought we might have sold some.
I've tried to buy some back, but they are just way too expensive. I did have, we actually did sell a Cops. I think it was a vehicle. We sold it on eBay, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So you are right in saying that. Now that I think about it. All right. So tied 1-1. No sweep here. Animation style is up next. Dave?
For animation, I think I'm going to go with Cops here again. I just think, it was above average animation for, the late 1980s. I thought the character designs were a little more detailed as well, and the animation was a little more fluid for its time as well.
Okay. Eric?
I went with Bravestar. I think that both of them were very good, but I just preferred Bravestar. To me, it was more detailed.
All right. So we know how Sean feels about Filmation animation, which is what Bravestar is. So obviously he went with Cops. And this is what I'll add to it. I was not a big fan of that Filmation animation either. But I do think they had a unique style that worked. Filmation animation worked for the 70s and the early 80s. So it worked for shows like He-Man. It worked for She-Ra. It worked for Fat Albert. It worked for Star Trek. I don't think it worked for Bravestar. As a matter of fact, I think Bravestar was one of the last shows that was under Filmation animation. So, all right. It is 2-1 Cops. We move on now to the next category, which is theme song. Cops can win it here. Eric, go ahead.
I thought both of them were pretty good, but I went with Bravestar. I just preferred that better more.
All right. I will say that Sean did go Cops. So, Dave, you are going to break a tie.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cops theme song. I think it's a little more catchy, upbeat. I like the, fighting crime type deal.
To be honest with you, I think it is a better beat as far as music goes. So
you would have gone Cops too?
I would have, yeah. Or Sean did, yes. So Cops is going to win at 3-1. They're going to get 20 points. Brave Star is not going to lose any points. But now we move on to our main event, Pinky and the Brain versus the Codename Kids Next Door. Codename Kids Next Door is in the division of Jimmy Morrison. They are 2-0, 20 points. Pinky and the Brain in the division of Nick Cosmo, 2-0, 50 points. So, and here's the funny thing. So next week, after the shows are done, or after we finish stage 3, I will of course be posting out the leaderboard and who's ahead with who's got the most points within their with their division. I will be the one posting it because I know that -20 means you deduct 20 points and not add them.
Yeah, sorry.
Unlike my former math guy. Now, here's the thing. Jimmy Morrison, he's got 2 shows left in his division to go, and that's Codename Kids Next Door and Fate Zero. If Codename Kids Next Door can get basically they need a 20-point win and a 30-point win. So they need a sweep and a 20-point win, and then he will be at the top of the leaderboard. However, you're going against Pinky and the Brain, who's kind of dominated, so we're going to see what happens. Originality, Dave, you're up first.
For originality, I think I'm going to go with Codename Kids Next Door. I just think it's a little more original in its world building. I just feel like it has a lot of unique concepts that they go through, and I enjoy it. I think it's visually original. It's got its own twists and turns on like the characters and stuff like that. It's not like your typical children characters, but they are at the same time. Pinky and the Brain, I just feel like it's the genius and the idiot trope, which you've seen quite a bit
on this show too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think they kind of focus on that trope a little too much, and I just feel like it's a good show. It's it has its originality, but I just don't think it's as original as Kids Next Door.
All right, so I'm gonna Sean's gonna go next. He had Pinky and the Brain. Eric, that means you're breaking a tie.
Oh, I went back and forth with this, but I'm going with Codename Kids Next Door.
All right. So they are going to take the 1-0 lead here. Who did I have? I actually, like, if it were me, I would have actually gone Pinky and the Brain, because I feel like, yes, like you have like the brainiac and the idiot, and I do agree with that gets done a lot, but it's not very often that you see 2 lab mice try to take over the world.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that's okay. But like, I feel like that's another trope. Like, you have these, this mastermind who wants to do this, and he has his, his little.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I'm not like. I
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not I'm disagreeing. Like I'm disagreeing with you, but I'm not like arguing with you.
Yeah.
Because like
could it go either way?
Yeah, I mean it really could. Like,
I do agree. It could go either way there.
Yeah. All right. Overall enjoyment is up next. Eric, go ahead.
I like both shows, but I prefer Pinky and the Brain because I think it's a classic show. I can't speak today, but yeah.
All right, you went Pinky and the Brain?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dave?
Codename Kids Next Door. I just thought it had a little bit more action, had a little bit more imagination to it. So it wasn't like you never knew what kind of mission they were going to go on. So I just felt like it had a little bit more of like a, what are we going to get into kind of feel. So I also like a little bit of the story that they got going on there.
All right. So this is kind of like difficult for me to do because Sean did pick Pinky in the Brain. Now, if it were me judging, I would have actually gone because I like K&D better. I never liked Pinky in the Brain.
Neither did I. Like it had some funny moments in it, but that's it.
Yeah. I was never a big Pinky in the Brain guy. I wasn't an Animaniacs guy. Those shows just never did it for me. But Sean did go with Pinky in the Brain, so that's what I have written down. But so it is tied 1-1. This is one of those where I wish like I could have just technically like if I wasn't so honest, I would have just given the answer and been like, because I don't even know if he watches the show back. I could have just masqueraded my answer as his. But I'm too honest. All right. Animation style is up next. You have Cartoon Network Animation, and you have the company that technically bought out Cartoon Network, which is Warner Brothers Animation. Dave?
Ooh. Yeah, this one was kind of tough, but I think I'm gonna go with KMD. I just feel like, they have better like action animation. They have a little bit more creativity with their animation. I just feel like, Pinky and the Brain, I think it has good animation. I just feel like K&D, they just have more creativity with it, like, with their character designs, with the treehouse, they have different things that they constantly be adding. So like the world around them, you kind of get a feel for it, and how it looks, and I like their character designs. They're simple, but they're detailed. So I went with them.
All right, Eric.
I went the opposite. I went Picking the Brain. I thought that was, to me, that was more detailed, and I just preferred that animation.
All right. Sean also went with Pinky in the Brain. But personally, if it were me, I would have agreed with Dave. Because I felt like Cartoon Network was getting way better.
Isn't that funny? The other starting to side with Dave more, and I'm starting to side with Sean more.
I know.
Right.
We're switching teams.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
This one.
And but yeah, like for me, and again, I really think it has a lot to do with the fact that like Codename Kids Next Door to me was just like a far better show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was more entertaining for me.
Yeah. All right. So Pinky and the Brain is up 2-1. One more and they can get a 20-point win. Which, by the way, would put them in the lead of their division because X-Men, the animated series, only leads them by 10 points.
Oh, wow.
So if they can get a 20-point win here, then Pinky and the Brain will have a division lead over X-Men. All right. Theme song is the next category. Eric, you're up first.
This was tough, but I'm sticking with Pinky and the Brain. I just preferred that better, and I just liked it.
All right, Dave.
I'm going KND. I just think it's catchy. It's spy themed, punk rock vibe. I think it fits for like the early 2000s type deal. Pinky and the Brain, I don't know. After hearing it a couple times, it's just annoyed me more than anything. brain. Like, it's just like it's not catchy. It's more annoying.
I can definitely see that. By the way, Sean did go with Pinky in the Brain, so Pinky in the Brain is going to win this. So Jimmy Morrison has no way of trying to catch the top of the leaderboard, which is fine because he kind of irritated me this week anyway. And as far as what I picked, I actually went with even though Dave, I do agree with you, like that can get annoying. I don't know. There was just like a catchiness to it.
There was. I just after a while, I was just like, I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah, no,
because I wasn't even like a fan of the show. So like,
right.
It just added to it. Like hearing, like, yeah, it was catchy, but because it was repetitive, but it like listening to it, I'm like, eh.
So if you were to judge this week, Doug, instead of me,
would have won.
K&D would have won, right? if I was judging with the categories that had been drawn.
Yep.
If it were me, like if we would have just told Sean, screw you for losing your power,
or I didn't come on the show,
or you didn't come on the show, yes, it K&D would have won.
Oh wow, okay.
But so here's the thing too.
Coming on. I kind of screwed somebody by coming on.
Yeah, well, Jimmy already doesn't like you anyway. He doesn't know you, but he doesn't like you.
Fine, screw him.
Yeah, that's usually what I tell him. But because here's the thing, because by the way, that's happened before. Dave, remember a few weeks ago when you couldn't do the shows because you had to go help your brother?
Yeah.
So that's when Naruto took on Ren and Stimpy. Now, Naruto still won their battle, but they won it 3-2 instead of sweeping.
Yep. And if I was on,
it would have been a sweep.
Yeah, most likely.
Like,
was it you agreeing with me or Sean?
No, it was me agreeing with you.
Okay.
So now, again, if it were Dave on the show, it would have been a sweep. I mean, yes, Naruto still won, but I'm sure they would have liked to have 30 points instead of 10. But yes, so if I was doing the show instead of either you or Sean, if I didn't have Sean's answers, then yes, K&D would have, and more than likely would have been a sweep.
Wow.
Yeah, I think K&D deserved a sweep.
So
with this matchup was the most, not controversial, but it would have gone a different way.
Yep.
It would have gone a different way. This is going to be one of those ones to where, like, if they meet again, if Codename Kids Next Door can win their division, which right now it looks like it's going to be Care Bears winning that division. But if Pinky and the Brain can kind of keep up their momentum that they have, again, they're in the same division as X-Men, so don't put money on it. By the way, for anybody out there that likes to bet, do not bet on anything on this show because we're going to more than likely screw you out of money. Like, do not bet on this show. I'm just saying, I'm not trying. Like, I'm basically trying to save you money here.
If you're looking for the odds, I have them. You just got to get a hold of me.
Yeah, it's like if you're looking to bet, talk to us first, and we'll tell you what to do. But so, like, if Pinky and the Brain and Codenames Kids Next Door were to meet again, and like, if they both win their divisions and they both end up in the playoffs, then this is going to go a different way, I think, and Codename Kids Next Door would win. Maybe a couple different categories would sway things, like would keep things in favor of Pinky and the Brain, and again, it would also depend too on, like, if you were on if you were on one of your like 100,000 vacations that you take every year.
Hey, I've been on every show since I got back, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you take a lot of vacations when you should be when you should be spending the money upgrading your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But
Upgrade.
yeah, but no, they have to take that. Instead, they need to take that cruise to Alaska. Eric still wears his thong anyway. But yeah, so like it probably will again. If they meet again, I would almost expect different circumstances.
Yeah, I had them winning character development and memorable moments. So
What Codename?
yeah.
So I had Codename winning animation. I had them winning I had them winning animation. I had them winning character development. I had them winning voice acting. So you screwed that up for them too.
Not really, because I had Pinky for voice.
Yeah. I had them winning memorable moments. I had them winning humor.
Oh.
And I had them winning overall enjoyment.
I mean, I did have them originality because that's what I said. So
yeah. So, all right. So this is probably one of the more controversial battles. Blame Eric for being on the show.
Yep.
Blame Eric for being on the
show.
Huh?
Never mind.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you can blame Mother Nature, but Sean had the same answers as basically me. So never mind.
Well, and also, yeah, because like if Sean didn't have the same, if Sean didn't give his answers, it would have been me, and K&D would have won.
Yep.
So blame the fact that I didn't do enough research because I just got lazy when I found out Eric was going to be on the show and not me, so I just didn't watch like all the shows I should have. So you can also blame my laziness too.
I did tell you early enough. I thought that was a good thing.
You did tell me early enough. That's the thing. That's why, because I was in the middle of watching a show. I was just going to continue watching shows. If I would have done that,
you would have
then I would have kept going, and I would have told Sean, "Hey, don't worry about it. I got it."
Okay, so you can blame me for the Codename Kiss Next Door.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, if I would have had everything scored, I would have just said, Sean, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Yep.
So you can blame my laziness because once I heard from you, I was just like, I don't need to do any work. I'm the host. All right. So enough babbling on here. Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Animated Hour of Power. We got the New Gate taking on Dragon Ball Z. Neon Genesis Evangelion takes on The Promised Neverland. Cow and Chicken takes on the Mummy animated series. And the main event is going to be Courage Cowardly Dog taking on American Dragon Jake Long.
Okay.
Next Wednesday for animated Showdown, episode 38, the last episode of Stage 3. Blue Exorcist takes on Death Note. Hellsing Ultimate takes on Magi Adventures of Sinbad. Fate Zero takes on Sword Art Online. And the Boondocks takes on Johnny Test in the main event.
Oh.
By the way, if the Boondocks can sweep Johnny Test, then they move into a tie for the 1 seed with SWAT Cats in 16. So, all right. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel this Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk about the old XWF. We're going to talk about the 3 episodes that aired and, what could have been. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to Money E's Unscripted Sports Show. You find them on Twitch at TCX Money E, TikTok at Money E 6-Pack Picks. You're going to find Sean on Twitch and TikTok at TCX Reaper. You're going to find Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCX Gots at 95. You are going to also make sure to like and subscribe to the Dizzle97 YouTube channel and the Stabcast YouTube channel with Daniel and Mindy. We'll see everybody Saturday for Animated Hour of Power.
Peace.